something like that. Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
The band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going to the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles? Yes.
Hit it, Roy.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we talk to sports and other stuff, like dogs. Hey, question for you guys. How did the puppy get from Queens to the Bronx? He took a Greyhound.
No.
I'm Roy Harder, and here's your host, Mr. Eastside David McDonald, everybody. Come on, David. Look alive, buddy. Raucous enthusiasm.
No,
everybody.
I had plenty of raucous enthusiasm, and I was very much alive before that joke killed me and made me dead. That's the point. But you know, all Henny Youngman material aside, let's go. We have a very busy show. New York City is alive right now, ladies and gentlemen. New York City is alive. Is there anybody alive out there in New York City? We got the sports on fucking fire. But we have two, not one, but two special guests. They're also classic, epic, immortal rivals, if you will, Roy Harder.
Yes,
These guys, I always thought they were best buds. Until, 8-9 years ago, we started hanging out with them on a routine, a consistent basis. And we recognized that at least one of the parties despises the other one. That man's name is Big A, Andrew Gold. And the person he hates is with us. And of course, check out Andrew, professional photographer, did a lot of great photos for the IWF event, IWF Unstoppable, which I was a part of. Yep. And the photos by Big A on Instagram, and that's his website as well. So that's why he's here, plugging that. But Bobo from the Best Seats in the House podcast, Daniel Bobo Kurlan, and that's Big A's enemy. Big A hates this guy, Roy. One guy prefers the Bronx. One guy prefers the Queens. Yeah. Bobo's here. You got a chain around your neck.
Yep, exactly. This is what I wear when I'm at. I wear this when I'm at the game. I'm wearing it today.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
In honor of this special episode of the Eastside Dave.
Now that's program. A large chain. When I say that Bo is wearing a chain for the podcast only folks, it's a fucking actual metal chain that you would fucking tie around a car tire. Or some shit to
get out of the snow. It looks like something you would get at a Puff Daddy party.
And believe it or not, they sell these things at sports stadiums for like $20.
I do believe it. I love when Bobo no-sells a joke, especially one that completely killed, like Roy Harder. He does the P. Diddy thing. It actually made sense, and Bo just won't fucking let that thing breathe at all. Actually, Roy, I got it at fucking Dick's Sporting Goods for $19.99. I never attended a P. Diddy. He was joking, you fucking defensive weirdo. We all know you weren't at a P. Diddy fucking party. You'd never be invited in a million years. I mean, with all due respect, you got to be A-list to get into those fucking Hollywood disgusting fucking freak. And that's why I'm happy they're all getting pinched. Because us Z-listers, Bo, we need to stick together. We never get invited anywhere. Okay, but in times like this, Bo, it makes us very innocent, doesn't it, Bo?
Yep, it does.
Bobo. And Bobo said, Roy, he said he has company. He said that he wants to introduce us to his new executive producer of his hit podcast that he does with Robert Kramer. Again, the name of Bo's show is Best Seats in the House, fantastic sports podcast. And Bo, you were going to introduce us to your new executive producer.
This is Executive Grimace.
So you're holding up a fucking doll of McDonald's Grimace.
He's ripping you off, David.
From your...
I mean, can wait a second. Are you going to do a little voice? I mean, can't you do a sketch or something with your guy?
Oh yeah, I can do the voice.
All right, good.
Hello, Dave.
Oh, we know it's you talking. You can't cover your mouth, you fucking asshole.
Dumbass.
This is also a podcast. Don't worry about it. Oh, where is he going, Roy?
He's like he quit. He said,
Fine, just keep Grimace on the show. He'll probably be better anyway.
Hello, Dave.
Go ahead. He's trying to do material now.
Covering his mouth.
Hello, Dave.
No, it doesn't work because we can't hear you, you fucking asshole. Sit down. Sit the fuck down.
All right, doesn't need a long range, but he's that
All
much.
right, it doesn't have long range. It doesn't have long range. Who are you? Fucking Denshin over there? Chris, what the fuck are you, Mafia Life Chris? You got a lot of Denshin? There's not a lot of longer range. There isn't that, David. There's not a lot of long range. I'm still Roy, after dog sitting for 2 dogs for a week, I didn't even get a break. For the whole weekend, my mom has me now dog sitting. So now I got a little dachshund, barking at people. I've been dog sitting for 2 weeks straight. I've fucking like 5 different dogs over here. Dolly, no. I hate to say that in that stern of a voice. She's a very nice dog, Bo. You want to see her, Bo?
Sure.
Bo, give us. Let's just pretend that you still were going to do your Grimace character. Give us a little Grimace. You don't have to put him on camera if you don't want, or just put him next to your head so you can speak into the mic. Go ahead. We'll all ignore your face. Don't block your face, you fucking cunt. Can you understand what I'm saying? The Grimace is blocking your mouth, stupid.
All right. Hey, all right.
Put him next to your fucking right ear. That's all I'm asking you to do. It doesn't mean you get forward on the camera. Do you see your stupid doll? Put him on your right ear, like this. Okay, now go. Now talk.
Hello, Dave.
He's blocking his mouth again.
I'll do it. Hello, Dave. I'm the executive of Best Seat in the Hills Productions.
Is that all?
David, what happened? Where'd you go? You need us to stretch?
Hello, Bo. Can I tell you something? You're a fucking prick, and you're a goddamn unprofessional prick. And I don't know how Best Seats in the podcast house or whatever the fucking bullshit your show's called. I don't know how it exists if you don't comprehend how to speak into a microphone.
We use a different server.
I think Roy had a technical issue. Just sign out and sign back in. There he goes. He's coming back. Don't worry, folks. Roy Harder. All right, listen. We got a lot of shit to do, man. Holy fuck. Oh, real quick, Bo. Roy's back.
Sorry, I don't know what
Don't worry.
was. Apologies.
Just come out and come back in. If the fucking shit never works, you always get back in good.
We couldn't imagine you possibly not wanting to be associated with Bobo's puppet. Someone who has a legacy in this media. No, you don't want anything to do with it.
I mean,
actually, David, I also used to have a dachshund when I was a kid. We used to, Little Himmler was his name.
goddamn, you are so German. You actually look even more German now. I think that this was the mustache or something. You're just a very German guy.
It's a full mustache.
Can you speak a little German to Bo? Because, you and him used to have a rivalry in the late 30s, early 40s.
Was soll ich sagen, David? David, was soll ich sagen? What should I say, David?
I mean, it's just nice, Bo, isn't it? It's such a nice accent. Now speak a little Hebrew, Bo.
I don't know a word of that language.
Don't worry, I'm kidding. All right, look.
Dave, when I was in Myrtle, there's a German restaurant called The Worst Gasthaus.
Oh, the worst Gasthaus. Yeah.
That's what it's called. They chose that name, and I was like, I thought that was Auschwitz.
Oh, I mean, what the fuck? Oh, the name of a bar, the Gas House?
Gasthaus.
Gasthaus. It means guest house.
It sounds like
that's
gas
what they told Bo's people
to me. All right, Bo. Oh, Bo, real quick. I got to bring this up. Roy, he has since deleted this tweet. And again, I don't make fun of anyone who deletes tweets. I do it all the time, but it's almost 98% of the time it's grammatical errors and or simply wrong info. So I've got no problem with the deleted tweet. However, I told Robert, please get this tweet out that Bo just put out. You have since deleted it. It was an hour ago. You said, I will be appearing on the Eastside Dave Sports Program. He's one of the shows. It's one of the shows that inspired me to do what I do today.
Oh, wow.
Well, I deleted the wrong tweet.
Okay, but I want to know. I want to know one of the shows. I'd like to know who the other shows are. I was somewhat insulted. I thought I would be your single biggest broadcasting hero.
There's many people. Long list.
Give a few names. Give a few names. Who are the shows? Who is as important as me? Who is less important?
Right there. And then no one is. Well, you're on the top of the list.
I'm on the top, Roy. All right, we're on the top.
You're on the top of the list. I'm in Anthony, who's connected to starting this whole universe.
Anthony Cumia.
Connected to start the whole universe.
The what? The Davey Mac Sports Program? The fucking show existed before Compound Media ever did.
I know, but somewhere when he was on the air, I got introduced to someone by the name of Eastside Dave, who made an appearance.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. I got introduced to. He had a hand in introducing Eastside Dave to the ears of mine.
All right, fair. No, I'm giving you the fairness. Anybody else?
That's who we have to blame.
Oh yeah. I gotta say that a shit ton of people on Compound Media.
Okay, that's fine. Let's just we're moving on now. I'm sorry. I apologize for asking the question. There are times where I feel like I'm an FBI interrogator, and Bo is like trying to hide where he has buried $100 million of coke in some place, and I'm just asking him questions. He's not giving me anything. It's fine, Bo. Listen.
Who to say I didn't?
Okay, Bo, because you don't have that kind of fucking. You don't have those connections, Bo. Now listen, New York is on fire because we have both teams in the Major League Baseball postseason championship series. The Mets taking on the Dodgers in the NLCS. Yankees taking on the Cleveland Guardians in the ALCS. I guaranteed this would happen, Robert. 1 second, guys. Hey, Mom, I'm on the air right now. Can you just pick her up after 1 o'clock?
Oh, yeah. But that would be a little closer to 3.
That's fine. 3 o'clock is fine. Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Mom. Bye. Did I not tell you, Robert,
yes, you
before
called
the
it.
show? Before the show began, I talked to Big A and Robert,
100%.
and I said, my mom's dog sitting. I said I gave her explicit instructions. She's going to pick up the dog in my apartment today. I said, anytime between noon and 1, please do not contact me between noon and 1. I'm doing a show between noon and 1. I have the Davey Mac Sports Program between noon and 1. So absolutely cannot pick her up between noon and 1. Anytime after 1 o'clock is totally fine. Please don't contact me before noon and 1. Let's see, fucking 12:18 calls me up live on the air. It's between my mother and Bo. I gotta tell you. Okay.
Don't do that to your hair, Dave. That's how I lost mine.
All right, now look, and the Yankees play Cleveland Guardians. Now, Yankees series starts tonight. Game 1 tonight in Yankee Stadium, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Mets Dodgers started yesterday. They were on Game 1 in Los Angeles, and little Daniel Bobo Kurlan, your fucking Mets, got shellacked by the Dodgers off the bat, right out of the gate, 9-0. What the fuck was that, Bo?
I just have no clue, but I just know they made a big mistake starting Singa. A guy who, by the way, was literally just rehabbing and the season ended without any real rehab starts.
No, wait a second. Hold
And you
on.
bring
What
them
kind
into
of,
the biggest
what
game
kind of
you-
hold on. What kind of rehab? We talking for the drink? Are we talking Roy Harder for the smack?
No. I'm talking about sports injury rehab.
Oh, sports injury rehab. Okay.
There was no like there was like he was just pitching in some spring training complex against minor league hitters. Unlike sometimes when you see proper rehab, in a minor league game, there's fans that probably are going to the
Now, when
stadium
you say
because-
proper rehab, are you talking like Amy Winehouse rehab? For a little smack or a little
No, I'm talking about athlete rehab.
athlete rehab.
Injury
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
injury
Continue, please.
rehab.
Continue, please.
When you see, especially a picture of the status of Kodai Senga when he's rehabbing in a minor.
Now, when
even
you
though
say
it's a minor-
rehab, are you talking like Matthew Perry rehab, like for a little bit of the smack and the the drinks and the pills and the Vicodin and the Percocets, that kind of rehab?
No, I'm talking about athletic rehab.
Athletic
Like Darryl
rehab.
Strawberry.
Okay.
Right, at athletic rehab.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Even though it's a minor league stadium, when they're pitching in a minor league.
Now, when you
game,
say athletic rehab, are we talking like Darryl Strawberry and Doc Gooden? Sniff, sniff, coke, nose candy,
No.
lots of blow, lots of fucking cocaine. That kind of athletic. The Doc and the straw man.
No.
We talking
No,
that kind of rehab?
No. When I mean the athletic rehab, I mean actually having an injury on your body, and
Because
trying
they
to
were
build-
fucked up on drugs and alcohol. Like they get hurt, like fucking falling down the stairs, or Bobby Ojeda all drunk on a boat, so he crashes it and loses a fucking finger or two. That kind of fucking athletic rehab because they're all fucked up.
Well, I'm talking about any kind of injury related, and any kind of injury that I mean aside from drug use, but any kind of injury that prevents your body from being able to play sports.
Gotcha. Just like Roy, did you ever hear that? Bobby Ojeda, great fucking Mets pitcher. He was all fucked up on booze or something. He's on a boat going 100 miles an hour. He lost a couple fingers with the boating accident.
How did you lose a finger while you're driving a boat fast? I don't
It
get
crashed.
Oh, okay. That'll do it. Yeah. I don't know. I thought maybe the wind blew his fingers off or something. What do I know?
He was driving so fast, his fingers just flew off.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, just doing what every person on Long Island does when they get a boat when they're young.
That's Bobo's got a
Whoa!
very good point there.
Fucking Bo taking shots at the Roy, man. Everyone knows Roy Harder's from Long Island, and so you're calling Long Island people pieces of trash, huh, Bo?
No, but I hear the story all the time from people who have grown up in Long Island have said that, oh yeah, I remember when I first bought a boat on Long Island, I did some stupid shit on a boat, thinking thinking that you don't have to do this because you're in water.
I think you're getting that confused, with someone from Anthony Pizzatola, right? Pizzy, our good friend Pizzy. He's from Long Island. I think you misheard. Pizzy said he got a boatload of coke for his birthday. Is what he said. But you gotta turn up that miracle ear a little bit, Bo. But listen, Bowie, tag is it panic time, bud? Game 1, you got obliterated. I know baseball is, they say the oldest phrase is momentum is simply the next day's starting pitcher. So the Mets go out there, they pitch well, get the bat on the ball, they can do some good here. But I got to tell you, 9-0 right off the bat is pretty worrisome. Bo, panic time?
Yeah, there's panic time. There's almost panic time, but there really would be panic time is if they don't win game 2.
I mean, yeah, that is true. Then they would be losing, another game.
Panic time is what you do in a playoff game after you've lost in a blowout.
All right, fair enough. So he will not be panicking until the Mets lose their second game. When they lose game 2, by the way, game 2 is, did I mention that, 4:30 today, right, Bo?
Yep, 4:30.
So in about 8 hours.
Can I get everyone fucking destroyed Bob Costas this past week. It sounds like Bob Costas is out. I have to tell you, I feel like I took to Twitter And I said, I feel like just complaining about sports announcers is becoming a little hack. Don't get me wrong. The Davey Mac Sports Program has been doing it for years. But again, we started this fucking shit 10 years ago. I mean, no, we started the Davey Mac Sports Program 14 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, just the constant taking of the shots with Bob Costas and Joe Buck is a little played out. Having said that, he did have a miserable series, calling the Yankees series. He fucked up a lot of plays. The guy's almost 80, and he just, balls that were not even getting to the warning track. He was acting like the ball was a home run. And then when there was a close play at home and something, he'd broadcast with no juice, no energy. Very odd. But I'll tell you this. So that's, in my opinion, though, it's become kind of cliche. And Joe Buck sucks. All right. We all know Joe Buck is a fake ass phony bitch. All right. With the fucking haircut. Anyone who's so, Roy, did you ever hear this story? Joe Buck was so nervous about losing his hair at the age of like 25 before he even lost one single hair on his head. At the age of 25, he decided to get a preemptive strike hair transplant surgery.
What?
At the age of 25, before any balding occurred.
That's like a woman who gets a double mastectomy and doesn't have breast cancer.
Exactly.
That's worse. That's worse than what Andre Agassi did in Wimbledon in 1991 when he wanted to hide his baldness.
Yeah, a little toupee. I remember that. I remember Agassi. But the point is, Joe Buck did this when he was like in his late 20s or mid to late 20s. Now, if that doesn't speak to you about how fucking vain Joe Buck is, he comes across as the most vain person in the world. And again, he's one of these guys who is maybe somewhat humorous for a sportscaster. But you put Joe Buck in a room with comedians, he's like, look at what happened when Artie Lang was on his show. Artie Lang got his whole show canceled because he was saying all kinds of insane and funny but insane shit. And Joe Buck was like, oh my God, I don't know how to handle this. So I don't like Buck, but let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Because Davey Mac always does this shit first. And I've been making fun of Joe Buck and Costas for a decade. I'm sick of it. Like I said, it's become cliche. So let's get our crosshairs on an announcer who deserves it. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not going to hear this from anyone else. I am starting the trend. John Smoltz of Fox is completely and utterly overrated garbage. Now, let me explain.
Please.
He's a very capable broadcaster. He does a great job breaking down pitching. Here's what happens in a John Smoltz game. It's all pitching. All he talks about is pitching. In a Dodgers-Padres Game 5 situation, you have megastars like Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado on the Padres. And on the Dodgers, obviously, Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. You've got big fucking stars. Ohtani's the cover of the goddamn baseball right now, even with Judge doing the things Judge did. Yeah. And all John fucking Smoltz was doing is, well, this right here, I'd go with a curveball. And I got to tell you, I'd go with a curveball, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dude, I understand that you're a pitcher, so you're going to be talking about pitching. You cannot ignore these major stars. It's like how I get fucking mad with the Caitlin Clark scenario. You can't ignore her star power. For John Smoltz, not to fucking just talk about Ohtani, what he's come from, what his background is, all the things that he's accomplished. Instead, Ohtani's standing to the plate, and John Smoltz is talking about, should the fucking pitcher throw a goddamn changeup or slider in this situation? And the guy's not a fucking billionth as famous as Ohtani. John, it's not pitching for the entire 3 hours of the fucking game. Chill the fuck out. Everyone knows, yes, when you're a broadcaster, you're going to have to talk about the pitching. especially in the pitcher's duel. But you need to talk about the stars, and you need to fucking shelve the pitching for a second when an Ohtani or a Mookie Betts or a Freddie Freeman or a Manny Machado or Fernando Tatis step to the plate. And with the Mets, when a Francisco Lindor or a Pete Alonso steps to the plate, you fucking talk about them, not the fucking. And he does this not just for the starters. The fucking bullpen guy, the ninth guy from the bullpen comes in, and John Smoltz is saying, well, I'm right now I think he should go with the knuckle curve. John, fuck off. Like, come on. Like, you gotta get a grip. Honest to God, Fox, I'm not saying John Smoltz needs to be fired, but they got to create a 3-man booth, and they got to get a fucking slugger. I don't give a shit if it's A-Rod, because A-Rod does the pre-games, and he's really good at it. Jeter does the pre-games. He's good at it. We got to get a hitter in that booth. Make it a 3-man booth to balance this shit. Because Smoltz is so pitching oriented, it's fucking annoying as hell. I'm sorry. Bo, anything. Were you watching the Mets or Giants last night?
I was watching both, and I saw the worst 2 performances I've seen.
Your
In
microphone.
New York sports.
Bo, it sounds like you're a robot now. Try logging out and back in, buddy.
Log in, log out, log in, you fucking asshole. But I mean, come on. You know, look, the time to go crazy for a pitching, and yeah, it was a pitcher's duel in some capacity. It was like 1-0 through the 5th. And then it was like 2-0 I'm talking Dodgers-Padres game 5. I watched it all. I've watched everything. And, you know, it was a well-pitched game. But my God, when Ohtani steps to the plate or when Manny Machado steps to the plate, you got to fucking talk about them. You don't talk about the third goddamn reliever off the bench in the 8th. You talk about the fucking mega star on the Padres like Machado and Tatis, who did a lot of talking for the Padres. They've been talking about like, well, it's going to change. We're the new team in California this year. This is what the Padres were saying coming into the season. We're the new team in California. It's always been about the Dodgers. Not this year, motherfucker. This year, it's about the Padres. Padres. And Smoltz doesn't mention any of this at all.
Hello, you guys
that these
there?
guys shot their mouths off. You sound good now, buddy. And Smoltz isn't. Bobo's back. And Smoltz isn't talking about fucking any of that shit. He didn't talk any. He didn't discuss how much shit talk the Padres were doing during the season before this postseason series. None of it. It was 3-1 pitch. I wouldn't give in. I think I'd go with a change up here, and if you walk them, you walk. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm sorry. You won't find one other sports host or show that's fucking putting goddamn John Smoltz in the crosshairs. Well, here's the deal. Davey Mac Sports Program, we innovate. We don't fucking follow the trends. We lead the discussion. John Smoltz, you're on the Shizer list, pal.
Shizer, you're the ones that we despise.
Watch this fucking postseason series and tell me I'm wrong. You're going to get 90% pitching talk from Smoltz. It's too much.
I got to tell you, Dave, Joe Buck's so vain, he probably thought that rant was about him.
What was it? Carly Simon?
Carly Simon, yes, sir. It's a
What-
deep
what-
pull for Rob.
Thank you. Thank you for the random Carly Simon lyric quote.
Well,
mean,
Joe
Roy
Buck's so
likes-
vain that you brought his name up, he would think that the whole thing was about him, even though it was about the other guy we hate.
All right, fair enough. And the rumor is, Robert, what's that song about? What's the rumor?
Isn't it John Denver?
James Taylor.
James Taylor.
The rumor is You're So Vain is about James Taylor.
In my
Everyone's always
fantasy-
like, James Taylor's the nicest guy. He's the nicest guy. Not the Carly Simon he ate. Fucking James Taylor is Carly Simon's John Smoltz. Okay?
In my fantasy, it was about Billy Joel, and then he wrote Big Shot about her. It was his response.
Now, something else here, Bo. Your goddamn stadium is a bunch of fucking assholes. I can't wait to give Roy this story.
Yeah,
Roy, you're going to freak out.
Okay.
Bo's team, the New York Mets and CitiField, have gotten a class action lawsuit filed against them because it's being claimed the Mets have collected facial scans of over 100,000 visitors since 2021 and have illegally shared those fucking profiles with biometric data companies and businesses. Bo, you're fucking, the home of the Mets is spying on their own fan base and selling out their fucking faces and personal information to people. What say you?
Well, sports teams all the time. You're in a stadium. They get that information.
Okay, there ain't a lawsuit against Yankee Stadium. There ain't a lawsuit against anybody else in baseball. There is an active lawsuit against the CitiField and the Mets. So I don't know what you're talking about. They all do it. They don't all do it. There's a lawsuit against the Mets specifically for spying on their own fucking people and sharing their fucking faces. Talk.
We're on hedge fund billionaire.
They're run by a hedge fund billionaire, Roy. That's his response.
Well, if I could dissect his response, what he means is probably they have to pay these players their fucking $500 million salaries somehow. So if they're not getting the revenue from the sport itself, they might as well sell out the fans, start selling the fans.
But they are getting revenue. They make a shit load of money. And as Bo pointed out, the guy is a billionaire who owns the team, Steve Cohen.
Yeah, but still, they have to generate the revenue somehow. And if it's not coming from the game itself, that's really what it's come down to. And I think Bobo has a point. I think that this has been going on a lot longer than people realize. Anytime you step foot into Madison Square Garden, don't think your face isn't being recognized and isn't being tracked.
Yeah, but my point is the Knicks are not getting sued. The Mets are getting sued.
Well, then I'd say the Mets fan base would be a bit more on the pro-privacy side, whereas maybe the Knicks and the Yankees fan base may be a bit more on the liberal side where they don't mind their information being shared.
Interesting. That's an interesting point. Now, I forgot. Roy, let's see. Roy is for spying on people. What was the name of your dog as a child?
Little Himmler. Yeah.
Little Himmler.
Hot dog
I
Himmler.
forgot who I was talking to for a second. The man who has German ancestry, whose dog was named Himmler, is all for spying on people, writing people's name down on a list.
Well, it depends on. Well, here's the thing. I think it's more of a case of why are they spying on people? Is it because they're tracking? Maybe the FBI is looking for fugitives, and they might be popping up in the game, or perhaps terrorists.
That's not what it was. It was reported that they were spying, capturing the faces, capturing the information, selling that information to businesses.
Mm-hmm. That makes you wonder, what's the business doing with that information? That's really the real question.
AI porn.
So the difference, in my opinion, between the Mets and the Yankees would never do this, Bo. We're America's team. I know. I know the Cowboys are for football. The Yankees are for baseball. America's team. All right. Now, Roy, Big A Andrew Gold also has a few thoughts of the differences between the Yankees and Mets.
Oh, I would love to hear this one.
So he's going to do this. And so Big A Andrew Gold always has a wonderful viewpoint. Of course, Bo is from the Queens. Andy originally from the Bronx. So we got the Yankees, Mets, and the Queens-Bronx rivalry. I love it. So here's the difference. Andrew, you're a Yankees guy because you're from the Bronx, correct?
Yes, Mr. Champion,
yes.
I am.
Yes, Mr. Champion, I am.
Yes.
I love the respect that he pays me.
Always.
That's the
Always,
class.
Mr. Champion.
That's the class personified that Andrew Gold represents here. It's just the Yankee way. Look at him with the beautiful collared shirt. Meanwhile, fucking Bo looks like Flava Flav, all cracked out.
Flava Flav.
Bo.
Fuck the way.
All right, so you can't yell.
We won
Fuck your audio.
I know. Don't yell so loud because then your mic. Anyway, Big A Andrew Gold. Roy, you got some music for this guy. All right, so Big A Andrew Gold is here from the Bronx, New York, Yankee fan. He's going to discuss the differences between the Yankees and Mets. Take it away, Andy.
What's up, jerks? It's Big A here, and it's time to finally show the difference between the Yankees and Mets.
Okay.
Yankees have legends who embody class, like Joe DiMaggio, Lou Gehrig. Mets have players who embody crack, like Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry.
The Yankees have guys who embody class, like Joe DiMaggio and Lou Gehrig. The Mets have guys who embody crack, like Gooden and Strawberry.
Yes.
Bo, you muted your mic. Bo, you muted your mic. Go out and come back in. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know why your fucking fat fingers ever need to touch the camera. Once he's good to go, he just needs to leave the goddamn camera alone. Andrew, this is your segment, not Bo's. You continue.
Right.
And I thought that point was actually a good one, Andrew.
Yep.
I thought that point was pretty accurate, actually. Now you may continue. You may continue, Andrew.
Sorry,
Okay.
technical difficulty. We're good, Dave.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yankees have played in the Bronx.
Yankees play in the Bronx.
No, for great Italian food on Arthur Avenue, of course, Hunts Point. One of the great hooker capitals of the world. Advantage Yankees.
Okay, I mean, he says the Bronx, known for Arthur Avenue and Hunts Point, one of the great hooker capitals of the world. I don't think that's something that they brag about. I can't imagine seeing a sign. Welcome to Hunts Point, the hooker capital of the world. Continue, Andrew.
Meanwhile, the Mets play in Queens.
Mets play in Queens, yeah.
Home to the two of the biggest pieces of shit on planet Earth.
Uh-oh.
Kevin James and Bobo.
Oh!
By the way, Kevin James helped the King of Queens. You know, like,
By the way, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Hey,
I
but what
hate-
happened to your earpiece? That was working pretty well.
Why did you change anything? Log out and log back in before I drive to Queens and decapitate you and your whole family. We must instruct this fucking asshole to not touch anything when the show begins.
In our defense, we did, Dave. Right before the show, we were like, "You're
I
perfect.
know,
Don't touch
I know,
anything." And
I
then he
know.
touched something right away.
I know, he's such a fucking... Go, Andrew.
All right.
I'm trying to just ignore Bo. Go.
Yankees have Yogi Berra, who came up with the phrase we came up with phrases like it ain't over till it's over. Mets
Yankees have Yogi Berra. Came up with phrases like, it ain't over till it's over. All right.
The Mets have Heath Hernandez, who has phrases like, does anybody have some coke on them? I need to pick me up for this doubleheader.
The Mets have Keith Hernandez, who says things like, does anyone have coke on them? I need it for a doubleheader. Fair enough. Keith Hernandez, one of your favorites, Bo. Is that fair?
You know who didn't smoke? You didn't do that shit in the 80s.
We're gonna just have to fire him for the rest of the episode.
Bo, thank you so much. We could see you on Best Seat in the House podcast. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh, we're gonna have to leave. Poor guy. Poor fucking guy. Andrew, continue. Just,
Mets
how about
have-
this? Text him. He can come back, but he has to stare. He has to just watch us on mute. because I
He
feel
may have
bad.
to he may have to recharge his Bluetooth speaker because that's what it sounds like. He's got low batteries.
Yeah, I feel bad kicking him out. But he could stay in the box and watch us for the end of the episode.
Oh,
Well,
I'll let him know.
he got 75% of the show in. All right, Andrew, go ahead.
The Mets have Mr. Met, a giant-headed, freakish Scott. Well, the Yanks have the Babe, a giant-headed, freakish slugger.
All right, fair enough. Mets have Mr. Met, giant head. Yankees have Babe Ruth, giant head. Fair enough.
Well, this one seems like a push. I ask you, who would you rather hang out with on a Saturday night? Boring Mr. and Mrs. Met, or the whore-banging, whiskey-drinking Babe? Give me the Sultan of SWAT and a broken-down prostitute any day of the week.
He asks us, who would we rather hang out on a Saturday, Mr. and Mrs. Met or Babe Ruth and a hooker? He's got a one-track mind, Roy.
I hear that.
Gotta respect him.
Kind of like a one-track mind in a Travis Bickle kind of way, though. I think at some point he's going to be wearing an army jacket and try to assassinate the governor. Go ahead, Andrew. Let's wrap this up.
Yankees have Joe Torre, an all-time Hall of Fame manager. Mets have Bobby Valentine, a fake mustache wearing weirdo who once claimed he invented the sandwich wrap. Advantage Yanks.
That is true. Not only was Bobby Valentine caught with that mustache, a lot of people forget the crazy story that Bobby Valentine, former Met manager, claims he invented the sandwich wrap. I can't imagine Bobby Valentine inventing the sandwich wrap. I'm pretty sure that the sandwich wrap existed before Bobby Valentine. But if you Google that fucking story, he claims he invented the sandwich wrap. Yes, Yankees get the advantage on that one with Torre over Valentine. Yes, I agree with that.
All right. Yankees have over 100 years of tradition and 27 championships. The Mets have Grimace.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the truth, though. 27 championships. Mets have 2. And Grimace. Fucking Grimace.
Ugh.
That's what they have.
Ugh.
Grimace. Okay, wrap it up, Bo. I mean, Andy.
Bo, what the fuck?
I'm sorry. I know you hate it.
What the fuck?
I know. My mistake. My mistake. My mistake. I know you fucking hate that person. Go ahead, Andrew.
For those are in, Yankees are the better New York team. The Mets deserve to get hit by an asteroid. I'm Big A. Fuck you, baseball fans.
All right. Thank you, Andrew.
All right. Welcome, Mr. Champion.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. I think, tail of the tape, Roy, I think Yankees have the advantage.
Woo-hoo.
And, yeah.
Well, these things could go either way, David. That's one thing I know about sports is that either team can win.
That's why they play the game.
That's some analysis, Roy. I want to thank you for that. Either team could win. Now listen, the NFL, it's happening. Who fucking told you that Eagles coach Nick Sirianni was gonna be, fucking the Philly fans are not going to be cool with Sirianni if they don't go out there and dominate. And I actually think maybe even win a Super Bowl this year. I told you last week, I said 2 weeks ago, the Eagles beat the Browns yesterday, but the Browns fucking suck. The Eagles beat them 20-16, had to barely get past them. At the end of the game, Nick Sirianni getting into a fight with Eagles fans. Verbal fight, but
Pussy.
during a win, he can't fucking ignore these people in the front row. During a victory, he's not secure enough in his own manhood and his own skills as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's got to walk to the section and get mad at the fans and start yelling back. I told you, this guy don't have it. I am telling you, Sirianni will be done after this season in Philly. I am calling it. I fucking called everything. Who just got fired? Whoever it was that just got fired.
The Jets head coach.
Jets
head coach.
Fucking Robert Saleh. We did a show last Monday. I go, after this loss and with all the optics that we have with every interaction between Saleh and Aaron Rodgers, you could clearly see no connection. None. And you could see, once I saw that, when the fucking hug was so weird, last Monday, right here on the show, I said Saleh was going to be fired. Tuesday morning, he got fired.
Yep.
Sirianni will make it till the end of the season, in my opinion. He won't, unless the Eagles win a Super Bowl. Literally, unless the Eagles win the Super Bowl, he's out. Because he's got the annoying face. I'm sorry. When you have a face where you look like a douchebag, it's because you usually are a douchebag. And when you get to the Super Bowl, all right, but if you don't win it, which he didn't, I mean, the fucking Eagles fired Doug Peterson after winning the Super Bowl. The only Super Bowl in Eagles franchise history. Now that you look back on it, with how much of a disgrace the Jacksonville Jaguars have been, with Doug Peterson, and I'm not saying it's Peterson's fault. I think it's ownership's fault. Shad Khan and Tony Khan, the guys who run the fucking AEW, they're running that fucking Jacksonville Jaguars team into the ground. And Doug Peterson is the fucking victim there. Why did any of this happen? If I'm Philly, I just call up the Jaguars like right now and say, hey, can we do an in-season coach trade?
The old Doc Rivers. I love it.
I'd actually consider that. Like, I would seriously say that if I'm the Eagles, Jacksonville will give you a first-round pick next year and a couple of fucking schmizbos that, you may need, you may not need, but you can use them as trade bait if you want. But we're going to give you a first round, a couple of schmizbos, and then we'll give you Sirianni, and you can just give us Doug Peterson because we made a fucking mistake. He gets us our only Super Bowl in franchise history, and we fire him 3 years later, 2 years later, whatever it was. Fucking crazy. Sirianni is that. Hey, man. This is my Nick Sirianni face. The Eagles got to be with us, man. Eagles fans got to be with us. They got to be rooting for our team, not against us. You want that war, Sirianni? You're going to take on the city of Philadelphia and all of their sports fans? I guarantee you're going to lose that war, bud.
Yeah, Philly's a tough town.
And it's going to cost you your job, dummy. Fucking A. I'm not bragging about the Giants. They look like shit. Lost 17-7 to the Bengals. The other thing, though, massive. What?
Tom, do you remember when Tom Landry turned around and screamed at all of his fans in a tight game?
No, yeah.
Or when Bill Belichick did the same thing? It just doesn't seem like
No.
a guy who has control of the locker room.
No real coach cares at all what the first two rows of a stadium that has 80,000 people and you're letting fucking 10 fat drunk guys get under your skin. That means you're insecure. Yeah, if you're insecure as a person, you're insecure as a coach. Done.
And then you got to go to your players and be like, don't let them get in your head. And it's like, hey, coach, didn't 3 guys get in your head last week when we won?
I've been saying it since he lost his Super Bowl, that if he doesn't go out there and win, he's going to get his ass fired because he's got that type of fucking shit-eating fucking face. Jesus Christ. What was that message?
We have a conspiracy theory about the Cons that they're trying to tank in Jacksonville so
Who's
they
saying
can move the
this?
team to London. This is from Phil Dave Masuki.
Okay. Cons are trying to tank the team in Jacksonville so fans lose interest and they can move the team to London. Not a bad thought. Not a bad thought at all. It does seem like the NFL is desperate to get a team to London, but shit. I see that as a complete disadvantage to the team in London. Even if you have to play the Jags once a year, fine. You're making that shitty fucking 8-hour flight the one time. Think about it. The Jags are on the road, in some seasons, 9 games. They have to make a transatlantic flight 9 times. They're going to be completely worn down. I don't see that working out well for whoever's in London. I just don't. You have to fly across a fucking ocean 9 times a year?
It's a long flight, man. 6-7 hour flight. Yeah.
We should treat the London football team like London treated Australia. Anybody who gets in trouble with discipline rules has to go play in London.
Well, the other thing is the fucking Cowboys get annihilated by the Detroit Lions 47-9.
Wow.
And I know the Cowboys were without Micah Parsons, but one player does not make a defense. They fucking suck. And Dak Prescott sucks. Straight up. He is. And the Lions, and I know that the Vikings are 5-0, but the Lions are 4-1. They're the best team in the NFC. Oh, yeah. The Lions are the best team in the NFC. It's not even close. Not even close. And I know, like I said, the Vikings are 5-0, but Vikings are going to fold at some point. They're going to look mortal. Sam Darnold at some point is going to be throwing some picks.
We're going to see the old Sam Darnold.
This Lions team's got it all. They can throw, they can run, they can play defense. They got great special teams. They got trick plays. They got fucking everything. Everything. Here's the other thing. Listen to this NFC North. The Vikings are 5-0. The Lions are 4-1. The Packers won. They're 4-2. The Bears won. They're 4-2. That's a hell of a division. Jesus.
Yeah.
The fuck? Maybe they're like the whole playoffs should just be the goddamn NFC North. We should just start with those 4 teams. The Bucks annihilated the Saints 51-27. Saints turn out to be pretenders. Ravens beat the Commanders. Steelers beat the Raiders. So both of those teams 4-2. So that's a good division as well. So a lot going on in football. You got Monday Night Football today, the big Bills-Jets game. Think about that for New York. You got you got Mets at 4:30. You got Yankees at 8, and then you got the fucking Jets game, Jets-Bills at 8:25. I mean, this is what I'm saying. New York City's on fire.
Yeah, and you got the Bald Comedy Festival at 7 o'clock at the Brooklyn Diner in Times Square.
Now, what's that? Okay, talk to me. The Bald Comedy Festival?
Yeah, so funny story. Owner of Stand Up New York tweeted out he needed bald comics, and I was like, I'm rocking a wicked George Costanza / Larry David. Does that count? And he was like, sure. Do you have a headshot where you're bald? And I had to text Andrew and was like, hey, Andrew, do you have a picture of me bald? And he was like, no, you fucking hate those pictures. I've deleted all of them. And so we had to like really search for one. But yeah, tonight at 7, Brooklyn Bagel Shop or some shit.
Brooklyn Bagel Shop. Where?
No, Diner. Brooklyn Diner in Times Square.
Brooklyn Diner. Oh, it's in Manhattan.
Yeah,
Deli.
Brooklyn Deli.
Yeah,
I've been
Brooklyn
corrected.
Deli in
Sounds like
Manhattan.
Roy Harder,
Yes.
Sounds like a Roy Harder plug. You have no idea the plug you're playing.
It's the Roy Harder plug of confusion is what anytime he has to promote something, it's like it's going to be I think within the next 90 days somewhere in the Eastern Seaboard.
Brooklyn Deli, doors at 6:30, show at 7 tonight.
Boom.
I gotta tell you, why not go? Yankees aren't the first pitch isn't going to be till like 8:08 or 8:09, and the Jets Bills isn't going to be till like 8:30. Catch an hour or so of comedy, and then hit your fucking sports up. I love it. All right,
I'm
let me
going
get to
Mr.
two
Mo.
quick things here. Oh, yes, Andrew?
I will be attending and supporting Bobby Tamboro tonight.
You're going to be there. Okay, good.
Hell yeah.
All right. Andrew.
Yes, Mr. Champion.
Have you seen Robert before?
Oh, I have many times.
Very good, huh? On
Oh,
that
yes.
stand-up?
Oh, yes.
What's your favorite bit? What's your favorite? Does he do a bit that you have memorized?
I like his anti-Jew jokes.
I don't think.
Probably not going to fly with that crowd.
I don't think that routine exists, but of course you'd like that. Fucking Goebbels over there.
Great show at the Brooklyn Bagel Shop.
Yeah. You're a keyboard playing Rudolph Hess, is what you are. How about Jerry Seinfeld? Remember he did that little thing about the sock hangers. That was my favorite routine because it was true. He goes, "Why would you give a hanger for socks? Does anyone actually have a little closet and they put all their socks up?" I'm like, that's it. Comedy will never be better than that.
Yep.
End it. Yep. Sock hanger. Because honestly, my whole life I've been thinking about that. And like, I should create a space for my sock hangers. Like I've actually thought about creating a sock hanger closet. It's lived in my head, as the kids say, rent-free for many, many years, Roy.
Nice.
All right, real quick. Just two quick things. Basketball, the Knicks T-Wolves played yesterday. I watched a little of that game. When I say I watched a lot of sports this weekend, I ain't lying. I was watching fucking preseason basketball on top of football, postseason baseball. But the reason why is because obviously the Knicks made a big trade with trading Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo to the T-Wolves for Karl Anthony Towns. And so yesterday those two teams played, and the Knicks look really good. I'm very optimistic here with this Karl Anthony Towns situation and the addition of Mikal Bridges. I know Karl Anthony Towns has had a few lackluster games in the postseason. I understand. But I think he is going to understand himself what New York City's all about. And I feel like he's going to step up this year in the playoffs when it matters most. I do.
I got to disagree with you, Dave. I think the term I would use to describe him is bitch made. He is not cut for New York. You're going to put him under a microscope. He was whining all the time in Minnesota. Now you are in national TV. You are under a microscope at all times. I think when the fans start to turn on him, we're going to see the old cat real quickly.
Well, we'll see. So far, he's in love. I mean, it's a honeymoon period. He actually gave a quote where he's like, "I cannot believe my life as a Knick and how awesome it is playing in the Madison Square Garden for 41 games a year." He said, "I cannot believe how great my life is." I like that. He keeps saying shit like that. We're not going to get on his case. This won't be that's the anti-Sirianni
Very
method.
much so.
You're humble and you're thankful that you're playing in New York. Whereas Sirianni challenging Philly fans and challenging the city of Philadelphia, not a wise decision. The other thing why I like the Knicks, and I love this player, I do, but for years I've wanted him on the Knicks. But Joel Embiid will miss the rest of the preseason with a knee injury. And you're starting to wonder, like, will this guy ever be healthy just for one season and the playoffs? Will Joel Embiid ever be healthy? Because he's such a fucking great player. My God, I've often dreamt about, like, what would Joel Embiid look like on the Knicks? Oh, but anytime I'm doing that, I'm thinking healthy Joel Embiid, not street clothes,
Greg Oden,
jeans, and a big shirt because he's injured and he's watching his teammates from the sidelines, Joel Embiid. I don't know.
Dave, do you see the shirt I have on? This guy went to a wrestling match the night before a playoff game and didn't miss it.
Dennis
Can't
Rodman.
be missing games. Yes, sir.
The Worm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's a guy who knew how to balance his partying and his playing. And the thing is, Joel Embiid, no one says he's a big partier. He's just, it's those fucking legs. They're letting this guy down. He always has an ankle injury, a foot injury, a knee injury. It's always something with the fucking legs, and you feel bad for him, you know? Because at the end of the day, it's like, it's just about being 7 feet. Like the guy who played Chewbacca, all right, Peter Mayhew. But like when he was 60, he could barely walk. He had these like braces and shit. And it's just because it's unnatural for someone to be fucking 7'2". But then what was there? Was there a fart?
No, I was just looking at Andrew because you're talking about it was unnatural for people to be that large.
Oh,
And he's we call him Big A for a reason.
as I was talking, Roy, I saw Andrew and Bobby and Bobby T looking at each other sheepishly, both with weird grins. I could have sworn that we had a fart controversy brewing.
No, I wish.
No gas was passed.
No, yes.
Big
No
A
one
knows the
smelt
rule.
it
That's
and
how he
dealt it.
leaves.
All right. Well, I don't wish any ill health on Joel Embiid because I'm a fan. And at some point, I'd love for the Knicks to figure out a way to get him. Like, I actually want the Philly fans to turn on Sirianni because he's an asshole. But I also want them to turn on Embiid, but not necessarily because he's an asshole, because I want him to ask for a trade and to come to the Knicks. It's not going to happen. I know. I'm living in a fantasy land. But Jesus Christ, imagine if we could somehow keep Karl Anthony Towns as a power forward and Joel Embiid as a center and fucking Brunson, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges. Oh, my God. And I know that's a fantasy land scenario. So I wish him nothing but the best of health, Joel, because we want you playing in the Garden at some point. Like, that would be nice, baby. Just saying. Roy Harder,
You got the
anything
Rizzler.
with you. Sean Barry
Yeah.
sent me a Doors, sent me the Doors, a whole album of you and him playing the Doors.
Oh yeah, I recorded our last rehearsal, so that's probably what he sent on. to
That's
you, but,
fucking amazing.
oh, thanks. It was we just did a lot of mistakes, but it'll be great. On
Roy,
October
your
20th.
camera's on mirror, bud. And so now it's like we're having to like decipher that fucking poster like we're some sort of military decoders.
Is this better, David?
No, that's
No,
upside
it's not.
down.
It has to be switched upside down.
Hang on, I think that text looked demonic. Let's see this again.
All right. So anyway, Wednesday, October 23rd, 8 p.m. in Industry in Huntington. We are doing a tribute to the Doors. Yes, you're right, David. That's me, Sean O'Barry, Joe Sofel, Andrew Vatiello, and Lou Mancuso. And an opening set by Torpedo. Advanced tickets are available at industrymakers.art. There we go.
And
October
who's the
23rd.
lead singer again?
That would be Lou Mancuso, who also was our Eddie Vedder. He does an amazing.
All I'm saying is if Lou calls out sick,
Yep.
don't forget who you got here.
You're my man, David. You are
Davey
second-
Morrison. Ready?
Yeah.
Don't you love her madly? Don't you love her madly? And don't you be her way? Or tell me what you say. Don't you love her as she's walking out the door? Like she did 1,000 times before.
What, you play the song Peace Frog?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Well, I don't have my organ handy.
that's
here,
fine.
But,
Don't worry
but
about it.
yeah, we do
Oh,
Peace Frog.
Do you play Landho?
No, we don't. I
You
don't want to give
what?
notes. We don't do it. Listen, the Doors have a lot of hits, David. A lot
No,
of
no, no.
recognizable ones.
I know. Landho is a deep track, but it's actually like one of my absolute favorite Doors deep tracks. We actually played it on the East Side Dave show years ago, buddy.
Yes.
Remember? Hold on. Yeah.
Well, I get my hands on a dollar bill. I'm gonna find a bottle to get my fill. If I get my hands on a number 5, I'm gonna skin that little girl. And if I get my hands on a number 2, come back home and marry you. Marry you, all right.
Roy, you gotta play Landho.
All right.
You gotta
I'll-
play
I'll-
Landho.
I'll bring it up to the board.
That's a
David.
request from the Dave man.
Well, if you come to the show Wednesday, October 23rd, David, we may indulge in that request for you.
Oh, yes. Love that fucking song. All right, Andrew. Anything you have to plug?
champion.
Photos by Big A on Instagram and the website.
Yes, photos by BigA.com and photos by Big A on Instagram. Yes.
Excellent, Andrew. Make sure you're utilizing him. Like I said, some glorious photographs he took at the IWF Unstoppable, specifically of me being handcuffed to Eloy Fiesta.
Oh, yes.
You see the pain in my eyes. Those are real handcuffs.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know how hard it is, Roy, in the heat of the moment to fucking throw powder in another man's face, punch him, and then get a key out of his inside pocket and unlock the handcuffs so you can free yourself and help your wrestler?
Yeah, that's a lot of moving parts there, David.
I pulled off all that shit, okay? So I don't know what the WWE or AEW is waiting for. Well, AEW doesn't want me because I make fun of Tony Khan and Shad Khan all the time. The fucking owners of the Jags. But WWE, it's time to bring back some managers, Dad. Let's go. Anyway, Robert, anything?
Check me out tonight. Check me out Friday at our old stomping ground, the Dojo of Comedy on KP Burke Show. And November 23rd, I'll be headlining the Laughing Stock Comedy Club in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Come out so I don't kill myself.
Headlining, Robert.
Yeah.
Wonderful, buddy.
It's like a homecoming show, so it'll be a lot of my teachers that hate me. So I would love to balance the crowd out some. A lot of people who are like, "Oh, you were the dickhead sitting here before. Now I get to return the favor." So if we had some,
it's just going to be a line of teachers and high school coaches wanting to like slap him in the face, like that scene from Airplane where all the people were lined up. With like a fucking like bat and a pitchfork and a fucking wrench and shit, you know.
It's gonna be interesting. So could use some East Side Davidians there to balance out that.
Oh, gotta thank all the East Side Davidians. New Tales from the Satellite will be up this week.
Yes.
Right? Robert,
this week. That's a great time frame.
A new controversial but fun, really fun Tales from the Satellite will be up this week. And, of course, this show will get remastered and then re-uploaded to YouTube and MP3 with all your favorite, wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure you're subscribed to all those places and spread the word, of course. And that'll do it. All right, listen. And you know what? He was here for 75% of the show. He drove me insane, but he deserves a shout-out. Little Bobo.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of it's sort of like completing 5 innings in a rainout in baseball. If you get to that 70-75% threshold, that's an official appearance. So follow Bobo on Best Seats in the House podcast show he does with Robert Kramer. We love Robert Kramer. He's good to us, and we like him. And that'll do it, baby. All right, that'll do it. I am Davey Mac for Roy Harder, for Bobo, for Big A, for Bobby Tamburo. We'll see you guys later. Good night, everybody.